I welcome you guys back into my video. I need you to realize that this video is about how to allow, and it has everything to do with forgiveness and acceptance and letting go. I mean, it's a spiritual topic. I need you to understand that allowing is the foundation of life. That when somebody takes something from you, in terms of a woman that you married or a man that you love, I promise you that you allow it and you move on. I promise you let go, because if you resist, you will cause negativity and drama, and you will automatically go to that person and cause drama or something related to somebody you love. I need you to understand that somebody you love is you the most. I need you to understand that in my life, I love Jesus the most. I mean, Jesus is above me. I mean, I put Jesus first in my life. I mean, Jesus is in my life that is something much bigger than me and the Father God. You understand? I put God above me. I then put myself before God. I mean, I put myself after God. I mean, God's first in my life. You have to realize that you also have to do the same. Although there are people who never believe in God and never believe in something higher than themselves, I will then say that you put yourself first. I need you to understand that those people who let go and let God, you may have heard the saying, are people who can allow, and are people who can, are people who can accept and condone a better way. I mean, they are people who can really spice up life to make sure that they are light-hearted and playful and always positive, because they've got no negativity. I mean, when you're about to be angry, let it go. I mean, go shake it off somewhere. I mean, go for a walk. I mean, go and just visit some other place in life. I mean, distract yourself so that you never become angry. How do you do that? You just use your emotions. I mean, you just have to go with your emotions and you have to let it go. I mean, push your emotions downward. And when you do this, you realize that you're going to sink into the moment. I mean, use your heart. Use your heart and see what your heart says. I mean, to be a person who can really strategize life in a better way, you need to be able to feel your emotions. I mean, if you're a person who's always poisoning your emotions with toxic drugs and alcohol and cigarettes and ecstasy and cocaine and heroin and weed and tobacco, you will understand also caffeine is another one, which has Red Bull and also V has caffeine, and cacao powder is also no good for you because it poisons your body. You'll understand though that when you're high on a substance that is outside, that you have to drink or that you have to smoke or that you have to chew on or something like that, or that you have to swallow, I promise you that it's never natural, and I promise you that there is a disease caused with that. I promise you although that in order for you to let go, you have to overcome those substances and you have to allow the process of withdrawal. I mean, you have to allow yourself to withdraw. I mean, you have to allow it. I mean, if you're a person shaking for 24 hours, you have to allow that. You understand? I mean, when somebody has killed somebody in your family or something terrible happened and someone passed away, you have to learn the law of allowing. You have to understand that your emotions are everything when it comes to allowing. You have to be able to really grip with your emotions and decide everything with your emotions. You have to feel life with your heart. I use my heart, also I push my heart outward, and I use my heart to speak in this video now. I mean, everything that my heart says goes. I mean, my heart is never wrong nor right. I mean, my heart is honest. You have to understand that honest people can always do something. You need to be a person who can always do something to allow what's happening in your life. I mean, life is going to deal you blows. I mean, for example, in my life, I have my biological family in terms of my mum's side. You'll understand though that they are nobodies to me now. I mean, they judge me completely based on words. I promise you although that when somebody does that, I promise you they're never allowing you to talk like you do. I promise you that since that happened, I promise you they went their ways. I promise you although that it's a very inspirational story because I get to have more time in my life, and I never get to be around sympathetic people who never lift me up. I mean, those people who never forgive you are people such as my biological mum's family and my biological mum, who never ever forgave me about what I said. I promise you, although, that it's never about what you say in life. I promise you it's about what you do. I promise you that you never be led by the blind who speak words and never do. I mean, those people who speak more and never do what they speak are the people who are blind. And those people who judge you based on your speaking and never on your doing are the people who are blind. And they're also people who never allow life. I mean, they're too tense. I mean, they're going to die of heart attack. I mean, they're very stressed negatively in life. I promise you there is positive stress and there is negative stress. I will say that the positive stress is endorphins. I mean, when you go for exercise, when you go for exercise and when you eat healthy food, you will have a rush of endorphins. I mean, I get a rush of endorphins in this video because I get to show my face one more time. I mean, you never know what's going to happen, although I never know. I never know because when you know something, you will die and you will never grow in that. I never know whether I'll live or not. I don't know. Although I never know, I just grow anyway. I grow and I make sure that I can live more. I make sure that I can keep doing these videos. I earlier today was a sympathetic person. I was crying because of my life and how sad my life was. I mean, my life is never sad though. What did I do? I allowed the crying. I allowed the crying. I said, it's the ego crying. I mean, it's the ego really showing sympathy right now and tears of sorrow. I promise you, although, that I never cry tears of sorrow. I promise you that those people who believe they need a drug, I promise you though that they never need it, although their ego does. I promise you that you have an ego, which is your mind. I promise you, if you never control your mind and you never overcome the ego, your ego is going to dominate. Your ego is going to dominate your life and you're going to suffer. I had to take control of my life. You have to understand that in order for me to speak like this and in order for me to be on video, I had to train myself and overcome the mind in order to do 1 hour videos and 4 hour videos and write journals and look as good as I do today, because I look better today than ever. I mean, many people laugh at me on Instagram when I model. I don't care because they've never seen my life before. I mean, I'm doing way better. You never laugh at people in the first place. You understand that those people who laugh at people are resisting something. I mean, they're too egotistical. I mean, they're bullies. I mean, they're negative. I mean, they're people who are never growing. You understand also to never compare with other people, because when you compare, you're resisting something. I mean, you're jealous. I never need you to compare. I need you to see results though. I need you to compare results. I mean, I need you to go and see who's got the results. I never need you to compare with how good your beard looks to the other person's. I mean, that has nothing to do with anything. You have to understand though, that when a person's lost weight and another person's lost similar weight, you have to go and see who's got more results and who's much more successful. I mean, not just in weight loss, but also in marriage and finances and mental health and their looks and how they speak, because anybody can lose weight. I mean, anybody can do anything in life. You also have to realize that anybody can allow life. I mean, when I allow, I just flow in my feelings. I'm just in my feelings now. I'm realizing that I'm letting go. I mean, I'm not tense in the mind. I'm not tense in my face. I'm not tense around my face. I'm not tense anywhere. I'm letting go fully. I'm letting God. I'm letting go and letting God. I mean, I'm just allowing this video to happen. I'm just growing with the video. I'm growing with the words I say. I'm allowing myself to fail. I'm allowing myself to make a mistake. I'm allowing myself to be abrupt and say something quickly and do anything that my mind is saying, which is never my mind anyway. You understand that I'm just speaking what's in the mind right now. You have to understand that no matter what happens, I allow life. I mean, sometimes you'll understand that some people are going to walk around your video and cars are going to be driving past. You have to be a person who allows it. I mean, if you're hearing a loud motorbike go past your video and you're doing a video next to a motorbike sound, I mean, you never turn around and say something because of that. You just allow it. You just be able to process that. I promise you that you never even speak the arrogant words that somebody may say in that situation, because otherwise you're going to become arrogant. You never say, "Oi, you." You never say anything of that nature. You never start with hello. You never start with "Hey, mate." You never start a conversation with howdy. I mean, that's egotistical. I need you to start conversations with I. I just found that you were over there. How are you today? I. You there? You there? Are you able to help me over here? I mean, that's a much simple way to communicate than having to say howdy. I mean, I don't know what you're trying to say, mate. You have to understand though, that allowing is going to process your emotions and is going to allow you to resist less and grow more. You're going to be able to really be enthusiastic about what you're saying and what you're doing. You're also going to be a person of really high quality, because those people who never resist life, and even though somebody may exert control over them, you allow it. You allow people to exert control and power over you. I mean, the police may come up to you and may charge you on the floor and handcuff you. I mean, you allow that. I mean, you never resist it. I mean, you allow them to take you in jail. I mean, you allow them to put you in the car. I mean, no matter what happened, you may have been wrong, you may have been right. I promise you either one, that the police doesn't care. I promise you, although I've been in jail, I need you to understand that it's an experience. I need you to understand that you never go there. I need you to understand though, that you just be a person who's never wrong nor right and never causes violence. I never need you to cause violence. I need you to be a person who's really, really empathetic with what you're saying and teach people something. I mean, the more you teach, the more you're going to allow life. You have to let live. You have to make sure that you're letting people to live life. You have to let life be life. I mean, when somebody is going for another person instead of you, you allow it. I mean, when another person has more sex than you, I mean, you allow it. I mean, if another person has more money than you and more success, you allow it, because otherwise you're going to mind their own business and you're going to be more jealous and you're going to kill that person. I mean, you're going to literally go get a gun to kill that person because that person's so successful. I need you to understand that the law of allowing will never allow you to go and kill that person. Because in order for you to go and kill a person, you have no allowing in the process. Because that person ticked you off. I mean, that person really never ticked you off. I promise you, it's really your ego that goes and gets the gun, and that's really minding their business, and that's really jealous. I promise you, it's never even really you. I promise you, it's never you that's jealous and negative and laughing at other people and bullying people. I need you to understand that the ego does that. I need you to understand, in order for you to overcome the ego, you have to live in the heart. And in order to live in the heart, you have to really allow yourself to do so. You have to allow yourself to walk a certain way and talk a certain way for a period so you can learn. I mean, you have to really, really allow yourself to be on camera. You have to allow yourself to write. You have to allow yourself to write the first chapter of a book. You have to allow yourself to start something. You have to allow yourself to go up to her. I mean, you have to allow yourself to become all that you can be. I promise you, if you never allow yourself, you're never going to have it. You have to understand that people are being limited in certain areas of life. I mean, most people are limited due to finance. Other people are limited around weight loss. I promise you, although, that you realize that health is first anyway. I need you to realize that those people who make more finances are looking better. I mean, they're looking better. I mean, they're feeling better. I mean, they feel like a billionaire already before they even get it. I mean, you have to understand that it's never about the money. I mean, the money is really the health. I promise you, when you have the health, you have the wealth. I promise you, although when you have the wealth and you have no health, you never have the health. You understand? I mean, when you have wealth and no health, I promise you that no money in the world can buy your health back. I have to ask, what is the difference? I will say so that the difference is that you go and take action and do the steps required to go gain your health back. I mean, if you're a smoker and your cigarette is causing you some type of disease, I mean, you have to stop now because the doctor said. I mean, they've shown you in an x-ray that you have something. I mean, you go and stop right away. You understand? Because that's going to increase your lifespan. I mean, that's the kind of action that takes in order for you to become a healthier person, and in order to live a longer life, and to take the disciplined action in order for you to live healthier. You have to understand that when you're tense in the legs, you let go of your legs. I mean, shake your legs, please. You understand? I mean, shake your legs. I mean, when you're speaking on camera, I need you to let go fully. I need you to let go and let go. I mean, let go and never tense anywhere. You understand? I never need you to tense. I never need you to do something specifically to speak on a video. I need you to allow yourself to just be natural. I mean, natural means you have no tension in your body. I mean, there's nothing preventing you from doing the video. I mean, I am so motivated today, as I am really, really successful today. How? I let go. I allow myself to be successful. I allow myself to travel. I'm allowing myself all the time. I'm always allowing something. I'm always aware of my body. I mean, sometimes I may tense up my legs. I realize, I say, Danny, I need to let go of my leg. I start shaking over there. I mean, when your leg is too tense, I promise you that you can get gangrene. I mean, you can get something in terms of a vein, artery clog, or a blockage in your artery, in your leg, where it may block blood flow. I mean, that's what tension does. I promise you that people are too stressed like this. I promise you when they're like this, in terms of there's too much tension in their mind, and it's never their mind, it's really their too much tension around their face and around their body and around anything that they are doing in life. You have to understand that when you're doing something, there's no tension, although that when you're a person who has tension around your body anywhere and around your face, you understand that you're just a person who can make a mistake, although you're really, really lifting yourself anyway. You understand that tension gets you nowhere. You understand that those people who have tension will really, really never allow life, and will also cause disease for themselves, and will never ever be able to be somebody great. You understand though that there are many famous people in the world. I mean, there are many, although there is only 1% of them. I promise you that there is no shortage of famous people. I promise you that anybody can be made famous today. Although, what's important when you're famous is allowing yourself to be more famous over time. I promise you over time that many people lose their fame. I mean, they go off the screen. I mean, they go and play soccer first for 20 years and they're famous, and then after soccer, they drop off and they're nothing. I don't know what happened. I mean, they never were really learning and growing. I mean, they were never really forgiving more. You have to understand that those people who forgive and allow are going to grow more, are going to do more, are going to be more open. They're going to be open-minded and curious and interested. I mean, when you allow yourself to be interested and open-minded and curious, you'll start learning more. I mean, you have to allow that to happen. You have to allow yourself to accept the moment and be in the moment. I mean, you have to allow yourself to go away from the crowd, and also to overcome your demons and to overcome your challenges and go and become a better person for yourself. I need you to understand that those people who let go are always going to be natural, and they're going to be always shifting in a better way. It's about no tension. I mean, when you're running, have no tension about it. I mean, have no injuries. I mean, be flexible. I mean, never be stressful in a negative way in your day, because the less stressed in terms of negativity in your life, the more you're allowing life overall. I mean, those people who are really stressed and have disease, and also who are negative and drinking alcohol and cigarettes, are really resenting somebody and are also in misery and suffering because they're denying something. They're denying themselves to allow themselves to get better. I mean, the only way that you can become healthy is to quit the drugs. I mean, most people will never do that. I mean, they'll look to the next person and they'll say, because this person went to my year 7 school, I mean, they deserve for me to drink alcohol with them. I never drink alcohol. I never drink alcohol, and I'll never say that. I promise you, although, that many people have that attitude and mind. You understand? I mean, their mindset is fixed around the crowd around them. I mean, they only drink alcohol because of that person. I mean, they kill themselves because of that person. I mean, why are you even around that person in the first place? I mean, why are you playing with your life for? I mean, just because you went to school with that person and you grew up with that person doesn't mean that person's going to be around to help you. I'm not sure of anything, although you must grow and you must learn always. I today read a 22-hour book plus another 6 hours, which is 26 hours of reading today. I did in about 10 hours. I mean, I read it really quickly. I read the book, which is The Tools of Titans by Tim Ferriss, which is a 22-hour audiobook. I read it in one day. And also, I read the Lewis Howes School of Greatness book. I read it together. I mean, how did I do it? I allowed myself. I allowed myself to go to the city, and while I was doing travel photos, I was reading. I mean, while I was posting my signage everywhere to promote my Instagram, I was reading. I mean, while I was marketing here today, I was allowing myself to market and read at the same time. And I got myself another 2 books today, which is the Unleash the Power Within You with Tony Robbins and The Buddha and the Badass with Vishen Lakhiani. I mean, these 2 guys are going to occupy me in the next day. I promise you all though that my goal is to read 1 book a day, and no matter what, I just keep reading every single day now. I mean, once I finish the book, I don't fucking care how many books I've read in a day. I just fucking keep reading. I mean, today I've read 2 books. I mean, yesterday I read 1 book. I read 2 books yesterday too. I read 1 on YouTube. You have to understand that no matter what happens, you just have to be a person who's really growing your mindset. You have to be growing your mindset. You have to be a student of life. You have to realize you let go and you let God. You have to realize that the present moment is everything. I mean, those people who are living in the moment are going to take the most action. I mean, when you get an idea, you have to be in the present moment in order to capture it and write it down. I mean, I wrote that quote book series and I have 23,000 quotes, and I'm writing more quote series books. No matter what, I get an idea, I must write it down right away. I mean, I've done that 23,000 times. I mean, it's good practice. You have to understand that each and every quote is going to give you one idea. I mean, it's going to stimulate your mind. I mean, your mind is never your mind, although it's going to stimulate you in order to grab some ideas for yourself so you can write them down. I mean, if you have ideas and you never really implement them and they're only in your head, I mean, you have to understand that you will never ever get anywhere. You have to go and get those ideas that are spinning round and round in your head, and you have to go and teach it in order to become somebody more in that field. Because those people who are writing it down, and this includes this video, is also me writing it down. I mean, I is writing this video right now. You understand though that journaling is really a video such as this and an audio version which I can extract from this video and upload it online into my Mega Drive via my Samsung phones or you can do it for iPhone, you'll understand that it makes a difference into somebody's life to help them to do better. You'll understand that way you're giving more love and you're giving yourself more success and growth to allow yourself to meet more new people and to become a better person in the process, while bettering your communication skills and leadership and mindset and mentality, which is the same thing, although you must realize that you'll never be the same in life, because it's about allowing yourself to grow. I mean, those people who stay the same and never change, I promise you those people are resenting and becoming jealous and are negative over time and are really going down. I mean, when you see the line going up, you see people growing. I mean, those people who are dying are going down. You have to be a person really growing up. I mean, you're always growing up. I mean, when you're growing up, you're becoming younger. I mean, most people are growing up and becoming older. I mean, why are they becoming older? Because you understand that they're following the crowd and what they think. I never follow the crowd. I follow something out of this world. I follow Jesus. I follow the Bible and what the Bible says. I follow the Buddha in terms of knowledge. I read from the Buddha. I read all sources of knowledge that is helpful. I mean, I just go and dive into it. I mean, when I find a negative person, I go and dwell and I really try to suss what that person did. And I studied that person so much to say I'll never be that person. I don't care. I'll never be Hitler in life. I'll never do what that guy does. I don't care how he led. I don't care, because no matter what, I can see that person. I realize that no matter what, I study people and what they're doing. I study life. I study what to do and what to wear. I study which aspect of life I need in life. I go and get it. Because I study it, I write in my journal all day. And how do I do it? How do I do it? I write it down and I allow myself to write it down. You have to understand that it's all a process. You have to understand that in order for yourself to enjoy the process, you have to allow yourself to enjoy the process. You have to allow yourself to open doors for yourself. You have to allow yourself to really be somebody much more. I mean, many people are going to hate you and are going to be negative about you and are going to laugh at you about anything that you do. I mean, there's always going to be a hater in life. I mean, when you have haters, I say make more of them, because when you have the whole world hate you, you'll find out how Jesus felt. I mean, in Jesus' times, you understand that all the city hates him. I mean, all the city hated him except for his disciples and his mother. You'll understand that everybody else was against him. You understand, though, that Jesus' disciples were never found out. You understand, though, that you just be a person who's really a top role model. I mean, be a role model where you're never ever in a state of negativity and you're always helping out in some kind of way for free. I mean, do it for free. You'll see that Jesus made it for free. You also have to realize that everything in life has to do with forgiveness. You understand that those people who are really living life are really going to dwell in a better way and are going to allow themselves to do so. I mean, it's about really, really looking into your emotions and finding out how can you use your emotions better. I mean, I decided with my life about everything with my emotions. I use my emotions for everything. I use my emotions to decide what photos will I post today and in what sequence. I mean, I dwell in the body and I'm never in the mind. I never care about the mind. I care about really, really becoming a better mindset in terms of wisdom and in terms of leadership, and to make sure that I give value and also to look better with my body and who I am, because it's about never striving, although you must thrive in a thriving way to become a better person, because that's how you're going to be inspirational, and you have to allow yourself to do that. You have to allow yourself to really show yourself empathy and spirituality and to be open-minded about everything. I mean, once you're open-minded about everything, you'll find out what you can never ever do. I mean, those people who are never open-minded will never grow. You need to allow yourself to realize that you can do it when you're focused on a better way. You need to be focused. You need to talk about life. You need to realize that you relate to life in an. I promise you that you relate to life in a better way, because that way you're going to find that you can speak even when you're on video and when you're doing anything. You can do anything on video and in your journal. You just have to allow yourself. You have to realize it's always about mentality and never striving, although you must realize it's really about a better way. I promise those people who are going out and doing something in a spiritual way and are focusing something in terms of their life, they're looking in a better direction. I promise you those people are going to find a better solution than those people who never ever even search. You have to be able to allow yourself to search and to do anything in life. You have to be a person who is really, really growing and foundational in what you're saying and believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. And when you make a mistake, you turn it up and you realize you start speaking faster, because you have to realize that sometimes you have to be ahead of the audience in terms of communication and where you're leading them. I promise you, although, when you're slowing down and you're too slow, you'll understand that you start becoming boring. You understand? You have to understand that slow is a way of life, although you need to keep the conversation rolling, and you need to make sure that no matter what happens, that when you're speaking communication skills, you need to be adding ideas left, right, and center. You have to be giving ideas to everybody at once. That's what a life coach does, and a public speaker, and a person who's growing. You need to be that person. You need to be that person who's really allowing yourself to do everything possible. You need to realize that it's about really forgiving and showing empathy and really dwelling in a way that is compassionate, to make sure that no matter what happens, you're always a person with greater dealings, that has a greater deed in the world. You need to be a person who's really foundational in what you're saying, and just let go and realize that you can never fail, and when you fail, you can always correct it. You can always correct yourself when you make a mistake. You can always cut what your mistake is and continue. I promise, although, that in my videos I do a 1 hour set and I have no cuts. I don't care about cuts, I just go and do it. I realize, although, that many people will start off videos and quickly change their videos in between sequences because they stopped it and cut and they're doing editing. I never do it because I just love to show myself for who I am. I love to show myself from the get-go until the finish, and whatever happens in between. I made some mistakes, and no matter what, you find out how I also correct them. I promise you, although, that those people who are trying to act perfect are going to do some editing in the videos. I promise you, I've never done that in my life. I never care about that. I need you to understand that no matter what happens, I'm not a liar, and you have to understand that those people who lie are really, really foundational in going down. You have to understand that I just repeat that because in my mind, which is never my mind, I must also realize that it's much better to say I'm not a liar than to call yourself one. You realize that no matter what happens, that those people who are conscious of what they're saying with the I am statements, I'm only positive statements. You need to be really conscious about yourself and spiritual in a way that you're focused on a better way and you're willing to improve. You need to will yourself to improve. John C. Maxwell says, and he taught me this, I realized that he taught me that you must intentionally grow. Growth doesn't just happen. You need to understand that when people are self-evaluating, as he says, you would go into your journal and you would write about your experience. I promise you that when you write about your experience, I promise you that's the real wisdom. I promise you many people are going to experience and they're never writing down what they experienced. I promise you that their wisdom has gone. They experienced something without wisdom. Today, for example, I went into online marketing. I gave $30 today. I mean, I got some results. I wrote about the results. I said to myself, I see that these people are really, really liking my stuff. I can see that I'm gaining followers. I realized that India is the place to go for me because there are many people who need my help there. I realized there are a massive population, and it's really easy to get a big number of Indian people because when I give $2, I can get 4,000 views, while when I do $2 in Australia, I'll get 200. I mean, I just need some profile clicks. I realize no matter what, I see my hashtags. I realize that the modeling one is going to really help me because I'm a model. I may as well go and model myself and hashtag all the model and fashion shows in terms of the fashion trends and the modeling trends. I'll just go find any and I'll be in the most recent section, and I always post the same ones in my hashtag. And that way, I'll always be able to capture a few more views and profile clicks and follows. You understand that I just self-evaluated. So I just was a person who went into my knowledge to realize no matter what that I go and plan everything in this moment. I mean, those people who are planning and who are self-evaluating what to do and how it was and how you could do better, I mean, they are really going to learn and study and succeed much more than those people who never have anything to write about. I mean, I write because I write for a reason. I write to grow. I'm right because I'm serious about growing. I'm writing always to grow. I mean, I'm never a person who's fooling myself. I mean, those people who try to fool me, I promise you they're fooling themselves. I mean, those people who are laughing at me are really laughing at themselves because I'm more successful. You'll understand though that you never laugh at people and you never resent them when they leave for somebody else and when they leave you. I promise you, when they leave you, you let them be, and when they choose to come back, you let them. I mean, when they knock on your door, you open the door. I mean, when they go away and they never come back, you close the door forever. You understand? You understand though, that is the way to live life. I mean, never close the door on yourself. I mean, allow the door in your life to be open. I mean, welcome people with grace and show them love in a freely manner. I mean, never say, I will only show you love when you get me this. I don't know what that is because you're putting something of possessions in the world in between you. I never need you to do that. I need you to do free work. I need you to be a freedom fighter. I need you to understand that those people who are allowing life are really going to be the people who are really helping others by saving their lives to do better. I mean, when you're giving information to people, you're really giving them ideas in a way to save them so that they can go and take some action, so that they can go and save more people. I mean, many people are suffering today and need to be saved, although you will understand that those people who are growing are much more likely to do so. You need to be on the offense about your life. You need to be a person who's really helping life to succeed. You need to be that type of role model. You need to be a person who's allowing that to happen. You need to allow yourself to go and experience everything that you do and feel the way you do. I mean, when you feel negative, allow yourself to be negative then. I mean, allow it and never resist it. I mean, you never call yourself negative. You just say, I've been negative just a moment ago. I need to be positive now. I realize that when I get negative, I may just say, I need to shake you up now because you're getting negative. You're getting negative, Danny. You need to realize that you need to start doing something more positive. I need you to go and read something now so that you can prove to yourself that you're positive. I mean, it's that simple. I teach myself with the you in action. I mean, I never call myself negative. I say, Danny, you are negative. I mean, I have to say, Danny, you are negative. I start with the I first. I need you to go and realize that today you need to go to the market. You need to get yourself food. You have to go to the taxi stand. You have to realize no matter what, you go and do your purchases today. And in one day's time, just make sure that you have everything ready for yourself and charge your technology and have a grooming session before you go to Byron Bay because you're in Brisbane. I plan myself in this manner. I make sure that I talk to myself in this manner during my day. I realized I just planned something for Byron Bay because no matter what, I have to go to Byron Bay very soon. And it's a place in Australia. You'll understand though, that I allow myself to go anywhere in life. I allow myself to better my habits. I allow myself to have a better mentality. I allow myself to keep reading on. You'll understand that those people who allow are going to be the ones who've let go. I mean, they've let go of the past. I mean, they've let go of immaturity. I mean, they've let go of indecent behavior. I mean, they're never people who are causing trouble anymore. I mean, those people who are around trouble are going to cause trouble. You never be that person, because those people who you surround yourself with, you become. I have to surround myself with people who are business entrepreneurs and who are people who are giving free love in the world and are just people who are compassionate and love to help people succeed. I mean, they do everything about this. I mean, they're just people who love to inspire. I love to inspire. I love to be a person who's really great, and I'm always great in my heart. I promise that in other people's hearts, I don't care, because what's important is my own opinion. You understand? You have to understand though that your belief in yourself is higher than anybody else's, because you understand though that your belief must be higher than yourself. I mean, your belief must be rising and growing all the time. You must be realizing that you need to be a person to grow and live life foundationally in a way that you're building the mindset to strengthen your capability and potential to have more talents and abilities, to make sure that your skills are increasing so you can have a better mindset and leadership skills with communication, so you can realize empathy and abundance in your life. You have to understand it's about abundance and becoming rich. You have to understand it's about never be a sympathetic person, because sympathetic people never allow anything. I mean, they are really people who are resenting life. I mean, they're people who are jealous. I mean, when you have jealousy and hatred, I mean, you need to let it go and you need to allow yourself to do that. I mean, once you allow yourself to hate and be jealous, I promise you that you'll take ownership about it. I mean, you'll realize it. Once you've allowed it, you realize that you're being jealous. I realize that those people who become more self-reflective and are self-evaluating inside of their journal are going to allow themselves to take more ownership and more responsibility and grow more, because they're allowing themselves now. I mean, they're letting go. I promise you that those people who are writing more are always letting go and allowing more. I promise you that those people who are self-reflective are always letting go and allowing more. I promise you that those people who become more self-reflective and allow more and let go, I promise you, are going to be less negative people. I promise you, when you're negative and you allow yourself to be negative, you'll find out that you've been negative. I promise you that when you're negative, you let go of your negativity, you would have found how to take ownership. I mean, when you self-realize, you've actually let it go. I mean, you've let go because you've let go of something. I mean, when you hate somebody and you let go of it, I mean, you've just realized you hate that person. You just forgive them then. I'm rich or better. I say, I'm rich or better. I realize that's my beautiful positive statement where I can forgive somebody. I say, I'm rich or better. I see that Jack Canfield taught me that. You just add the or better at the end of I'm rich or better. I mean, you can say I'm now or better. I'm this or better. I am love or better. I just choose I am rich or better. You can be whatever you need to do. You need to realize that although that those people who are allowing are going to be more self-reflective, and those people who are more self-reflective are going to become smarter, and those people who become smarter I promise you, are going to become richer. I promise you, although, that the richer feel is also the better communication skill. And you have to realize that in order for you to better your communication skills, you need to be a person who's really, really reading more and writing more. You need to realize that it's about coaching people on how to connect the dots and allowing yourself to realize that you can do anything. I mean, you need to believe in yourself, and you need to allow yourself to believe in yourself. I mean, it's about letting go. I mean, let go of the process. And when people hate you and they're jealous of you and laughing at you, you just allow it, because otherwise if you never allow it, you'll go up to them and you'll cause trouble. I mean, walk away, as the police say. I mean, you never get into it in the first place. I need you to understand that violence is never the solution, and that violence begets violence. I mean, when you cause violence, I promise you that is more of what you have. You have to understand that in order to let go of violence, you need to allow violence. I mean, allow the world to be violent. I mean, allow it. I promise you, that way, the world will be cleaner and richer and better. You understand that? I promise you that as soon as the police and people are trying to grab the violent people, I promise you they're always going to be violent, those people. I promise you that when there is no violence in the world, I promise you there is full forgiveness in the world. I promise you there's full acceptance of the person and who they are. I promise you that people who are violent and negative are that way because they've learned from the people around them, and that it's never their fault for killing somebody, because those people around them really conditioned them to do that. You understand that? You understand that when somebody kills your family, you forgive them. You understand that no matter what, I hope that nobody kills your family, because it's never about killing. Although you understand that those people who have died and have families who have died because of other people, you need to realize that you start never resenting those people, because it's about allowing them to live their lives. I mean, allow them and their ancestry and who they are and their country. I mean, allow their country to live, because that way you'll never cause trouble. I mean, otherwise you're going to go around talking bad about them, and that means you're jealous and you're going to cause hate, and those people are going to be in the area and you're going to go up to them and say, you guys killed my grandfather. I mean, you're starting trouble, mate. I mean, it was never really that person. You understand that it was 100 years ago. You understand it was a century ago. You understand it was a millennium ago. I need you to understand that no matter what happens, that you're never a person who is resisting anything. I promise you that those people who resist are denying, and those people who are denying are really delusional. I mean, they're schizophrenic. I mean, the negative. You understand that negative people are schizophrenic. I mean, you have to understand that everybody is negative except I, and you never have to be negative, although I need you to repeat, I'm not negative right now. I need you to understand that no matter what, you need to say that. You need to realize that those people who get negative are people who have lost. I get negative sometimes, although I allow myself to be negative. I say I'm not negative. I need you to say I'm not negative. I need you to repeat it out loud. I just need you to do it, because it's an obvious behavior. You need to repeat those affirmations every single day, because those people who are really going to do something about it are people who are positive. I mean, positive people allow themselves to be positive. I promise you that being rich is a choice. I promise you that leading people and being inspirational and being better than yesterday and having everything that you ever need in life is a choice. I promise you that you need to go and study upon it. I promise you need to go and write about it. I promise you need to go and be a scientist about it. I mean, go and think about it in a way that you're writing everything down and you're never leaving it in the head. I mean, when 50 million thoughts are going around racing in your head, I promise you that it's going to cause you anxiety, and you're going to have brain fog, and you're going to be a drug addict and a person who has nothing. Because those people who apply are the people who are taking action, and they're really writing it down to have nothing going on around here. I mean, they got no thoughts happening around here. I mean, they're listening to the Buddha when the Buddha says no mind. I mean, go and see the quote when the Buddha says no mind. I mean, the Buddha says have no mind. You understand that those people who implement and take action and apply information are the people who are writing their thoughts down. I mean, they're writing their thoughts down in a better way. You may call yourself negative. You'll write it down, I'm not negative. I mean, go and condition your mind to be better.
I mean, go and see around your family and talk about your family and what you really see about them. I mean, talk about it more and more, and talk about the world more and more. I mean, the more you talk about the world and talk a bit more and talk about everybody around you and what's happening around the world and what you need to do to succeed, I promise you the more you talk about it, I promise you the more you seek it out, I promise you the more you'll take action to succeed. I promise you then you'll find a better way. I promise you that way you'll find that you have more skills now because you've taken action, because you've written it down. You'll also start planning more. You'll find out more about your day. You'll find out what else you can do. You'll find out what can you eat today. You'll go and plan what you eat today. You'll then realize that you're self-reflecting about your day. You realize that your day is a journey. You realize that your day is something amazing when you start writing. I mean, it's that simple. I mean, you just have to allow yourself to do that though. I mean, most people never even write down anything. I mean, those people have no lives. I write down everything. I mean, when I say it, I mean, go into my actual Mega Drive and you'll find out my journal. I mean, I have 2 years of journaling. I have 2 years of journaling. I have my year 26. I have my year 27. I mean, every single day I was journaling. I can see what I did on my 26th birthday. I can just go and see my notes on that day. I can see my 27th birthday and what I did on that day. I can read my ideas on that day. I mean, my journal's really funny. You understand that I expose everything about my story and everything about there. I mean, I expose everything about myself in my eye in that moment. I'm rich or better. I am a person who's really emphasizing to do better. You need to be a person who allows yourself to realize that you can do it, because those people who do it are the ones who can really succeed and are the ones who are really worth it. You need to be worth it, guys. You need to be worth it in life. You need to be a person who is really foundational in what you're saying and realize you have all the time in the world. I also need you to understand that time is against you. I promise you though, that in the next 5 years, that you allow life and you start to really dwell in a better way in your communication skills mainly. You need to broaden your communication skills and allow yourself to do so, because those people who are learning and studying and writing are always going to be much more prosperous and richer than those people who are never doing it. I mean, it's better to communicate more than never communicate. I promise you it's better to write more than never write. I promise you it's better to study something than study nothing. I promise you those people who study something are going to be something in those fields. I don't know what you're doing, although you have to understand that my life, in terms of my life coaching aspects and my passion, I do it for something above me, and I do it for free because I deserve a better life. I deserve freedom because I do it for freedom. I mean, I never do it for the money. I don't care about the money anymore. I realize I have money. I have money in my health. I have money in my communication skills. I have money in my looks. I look better than yesterday. I've got the results. I'm happier as a person. I'm happier as a person. I'm happier as a person with or without the money, because I'm growing anyway. You understand that? I mean, money alone never helps me grow. I mean, teaching this video helped me grow more than money in life ever did. You'll understand that no matter what, that I am money when I grow. I'm only money when I grow. And money to me is the definition of growth. I mean, those people who grow have all the money in the world. I promise you that those people who never grow and have all the money in the world, I promise you they got nothing. I mean, they're dying. I mean, they're people who are slaves to money. I mean, they're slaves to material possessions, because only growers are doers. I promise you that those people who are dying are never allowing themselves to grow. I need you to understand that. I need you to understand that when you see a drug addict, I promise you that they never allowed themselves to quit. I mean, they're defensive about it. I mean, they're resisting. I mean, a person who's resisting is defensive. I mean, what are you defending? Why are you defending a drug addict for? Why are you being a drug addict? Why are you being a drug addict? You need to be a person who's growing. You need to be a person who's really, really doing something to succeed. You need to really
find out what you're passionate about and stop defending life. I mean, when somebody hits you, allow it and just go on. I don't know why. You just have to realize that it's much better to allow it than to resist it and go punch the person. And you should understand, otherwise you'll end up in jail like I did. I mean, you understand? You get hit, you hit the other person because they hit you, you go to jail, and they never went to jail. I mean, what is the point of hitting the person in the first place? I mean, why did you even go to jail for? You never allowed it. You were defending something. You're defending what? I mean, violence is going to cause you more violence. You understand? I mean, violence is never the way. I mean, also, you can imagine me going to a little baby and punching the little baby in the head for no reason. And then the father attacking me. And then, guess what? They send the father to jail while I run off. I mean, I ran off because other people were defending me. I mean, other people were defending me while I punched a little baby. I punched a little baby and I bruised the little baby, 1 year young little baby. I bruised it in the eye. And the father attacked me. You understand? And then the father went to jail because I had other people defending me. I mean, I never went to jail for it. I mean, I sent the person to jail. I need you to understand though, that I never did that. I need you to understand though, that it's really an example. I need you to understand it's an example of what happened to me. I mean, I was attacked. And I attacked the person. I mean, the other person was defended by many people. And I had no defense on my side. And the police took me to jail. And that person walked free. I don't know what happened. Although I never attacked a baby. I realized that I spoke words that I never did. I also never sent a father to prison. And I'm a person who walks free. I realized no matter what, that you never speak in that tonality where you say that you did all that, because I realized that I was using an example to teach you something. That really, I never attacked the baby. I just was showing you my side of the story. Although will show you that it's the same kind of scenario when a person attacks a little baby and the father of the baby attacks you because you attacked his little baby. And then the father himself goes to jail because you had 5-10 people on your side about it. I mean, you understand? You understand what happened to me. You'll understand though that it never goes that way, you know. I promise you it never goes that way. You never attack. You never ever speak about violence. And you never be a violent person. I promise you although that you never attack people, and you always show yourself and what you truly mean. I mean, when you just speak about something that you've attacked someone and you never clarify that you never did, I promise you that people go off believing that you really are a person who was violent. I promise you although that people can be stupid and that people are stupid in a way that they can realize that no matter what happens, you are only stupid to the degree that you live your life. I mean, everybody is stupid to a conscious degree. I mean, also everybody is also smart to a conscious degree. So you understand though that there is no there is no judgment. You just have to be a person growing anyway. I mean, I'm smarter than stupid. You also have to be a person just really being smart about it. You need to be a smart person, and you need to say, I'm a smart person. I need you to say, I'm a smart person. I need you to realize that no matter what, that those people who are at one conscious level in life, in terms of they're conscious to a level where they're doing something important to help somebody. I mean, those people are really going to help your success much more, and you're much more likely to grow with those people. While no matter what happens, you just succeed anyway, and you make sure that those people who are succeeding, that you follow them and that you make sure that you surround yourself with them, because those people who are really successful are never violent. And that is the law of that is the law of allowing, to make sure that no matter what, you're a person who's always allowing. You have to allow, because that is the law of allowing. And those people who really sense me out in this video will understand that the law of allowing is really forgiveness and letting go, to the point where you're never resisting and never defensive, and you're never negative about anything that's happening around the world. I mean, when you resent something, you're going to really, really dwell into it. And I mean, when you're negative, you're going to go and be more of that. I never need you to be more jealous. I never need you to be more negative and resentful, because those people who focus more on the positive are going to be more positive. You understand that life is really, let's become better people, and let's allow people to grow and do what they do, and allow them to be the way they are, without bullying them and without being a stupid idiot. I mean, never laugh at stupidity either. I mean, those people who laugh at what's stupid are going to be stupid. I mean, go and laugh at what's smart. I mean, no matter what, you never laugh at anything. You just go laugh in a decent way where the smart Alex would laugh. I mean, when you're smart about it, when you're smart in terms of laughing, you'll never laugh at anything, you'll laugh with it. I promise you, when something negative happens to a person and they fall and get hit by a car and you laugh by that, I promise you that is never funny. Because if it happened to you and you got hit by a bus, I promise you, you'll feel the effect of that. I promise you that is never funny. I mean, stupid people will laugh at that. I promise you that an example of what is funny is Jim Carrey doing. You understand? I mean, that is funny. I mean, you understand that. You understand that is something beyond remarkable, because it never has anything to do with hurt and violence. You understand? I mean, it's entertaining, although it's really funny. I mean, that's what a smart ass would laugh at. I mean, that's what I need you to be. I need you to be a smart ass. I need you to be a person who allows yourself to be one. And just have all the time in the world to do anything, and realize that those people who really are shining, are really growing, and are really teaching you something, although you are never perfect, although you are when you're growing. You understand that when you're growing, you'll always be perfect. You just, when you're stopping and you're standing still, you're starting to regret life. I never need you to regret life. I realize that those people who regret life are never allowing themselves to realize that they are regretting life. I mean, they're denying it. I mean, when you're negative, allow yourself to be negative. I mean, find out when you're negative. I mean, self-reflect about it and talk about it. I mean, go into your journal and find out when you're negative, and find out how you do certain things. I mean, go and organize your life better. You have a life, you have to succeed. You'll be a person who can do it. You'll be a person who's growing. Because no matter what, even with my biological family who's left me, you understand though that I never left me. I mean, I don't care. I've got nothing to think about. I'm still successful. I've let them go. I allow them to go. I allow them. You understand? I'm never resenting them. I forgive them. I promise them when they are knocking on my door, I promise you when they're knocking on my door again, I'll open it and I'll say, you guys are welcome. I promise you that if they never return, I promise you they'll never see me. Because I'm worth it. You understand? I promise you that I'll never go chasing them either. I mean, when you're chasing people, you understand that those people are never worth it. I mean, never go chase a woman or a man, because you'll be resisting something, and you'll be resisting the need to grow. I promise you that you'll learn from it quickly, because there's no point chasing people who never love you in the first place.
I promise you that many people are chasing prostitutes and escorts. I promise you that they're going that way. I promise you those women and men never love them. I promise you, although, that you be a person who's inspiring and really love your life in a way that each and every video that you do is going to be the best one you've ever made. I mean, go and have the best day of your life. I mean, it's worth it. I mean, this person I am today, 10 years ago, is a big dream for me. I mean, 10 years ago, I was dreaming to be this person. I mean, my dreams have come true. I mean, in order for me to be at this level of life, I mean, many people can never even fathom how amazing it feels. I mean, just a few years ago, I only dreamt of this person. I was only daydreaming about this person. I was daydreaming of a better person of myself. I mean, I was 47 kilos heavier than this. I was a fat boy. I was ugly. I was a smoker. I was a meat eater. I'm today vegan. I overcame meat. I quit caffeine. I used to drink caffeine. I quit cigarettes. I used to smoke cigarettes. I quit drugs. I used to do drugs. I mean, I'm a better person. I'm a better version. I travelled for 1 year Australia. I before never done that. I have more finances today than ever. I look better than ever. I feel better than ever. I promise that my communication skills are better than ever. I've done more work than ever. I have better plans for the future than ever. I never do it for the future. I do it for God. I do it for something bigger. I'm always richer or better. I'm always a person self-reflecting and allowing myself to really dwell in a better life. Because no matter what happens, you need to be a person who's really growing, and you need to really start speaking up for yourself. I mean, speak up for yourself in a way that you never care about what people think. I mean, when you look at my Instagram, I never care what people think. I just go brand myself. I mean, I show my face. I start modeling. I start doing these poses. I don't fucking care. I mean, I love myself. I love myself more than them. I mean, when you go and post 4,000 photos of yourself, which are all modeling ones, and the sexiest ones you've ever made, and you are your best version, you'll find out what I mean. And you do it, and you do it on the social media. I promise you that you go and imagine how that feels. I can only imagine. I mean, no matter what, when you imagine, you never imagine, you just go and do it. You have to picture yourself doing it. You have to realize that you have to envision it for yourself. You have to realize that in order for you to envision it, you have to capture the idea and do it. And in order for you to do it, you really have to realize that those people who are inspired by me must do it. Because you can only ever apply it on paper. You can only ever do it on paper. I mean, how would you really apply that? You write on paper. I love what this guy does. I really realized that he posted 4,000 photos of himself. I can now begin to fathom how I would feel being my best version and posting 4,000 photos of me doing fashion. And just me in the photo and how that would look. I mean, I'd be the best version of myself. I'd love myself more. I'd be a more confident person. I mean, I'm already a more confident person. I'm already doing better. I'm already being a person who's fathoming a better way. I realized that no matter what, I was starting to get negative. I realized that you just realize you need to be a person who's really, really foundational what you're saying, and be a person who's never really imagining anything, although you need to realize that you allow yourself to be negative. I found out no matter what that I was negative because I was speaking in a manner that I was speaking for you, and I never have to speak for you in the first place because you have to go and find out for yourself. I mean, those people who speak for you are really going to lose. I never speak for you, I speak for something higher. You have to realize that when you're teaching people how to speak for them, you're losing. How are you losing? You're really saying what they must say. I mean, you have to go and teach yourself to say those words. I never have to teach you those words. I need you to go and teach yourself because I've learned those words. You understand? I promise you, when you're teaching something that you learnt already, you're losing and you're dying. I was just dying then. I need you to understand that I'm a person who can always fathom and do whatever I need to do. I can do anything I set my mind to, because for me it's I am rich or better. I'm always forgiving. I'm always looking up. I'm never looking down. I need you to understand that I never need to teach people how to speak. I mean, you go and find out how to speak for yourself. I mean, that's your job. I need you to understand that my job here is to enable you to do so. How are you going to do that? You have to allow yourself to go and do that. You have to allow yourself to go and apply this information in this video. I never have to do it for you. I never wish to do it for you. I promise you, nobody done it for me. I promise you, when I go and do everything for you, I promise you that you have no credit for it. I mean, I can just say I did everything for this guy. I never even did anything for you. I'm never doing anything for anybody except for something higher. I mean, that's much better. You need to be a person who's really foundational in what you're saying, and realize that no matter what happens, you just be a happier person. You just let go, you let God, and you really look good on camera and you're doing better. You just realize I have a nice, beautiful connotation over here. I have a beautiful, energetic feel, and I feel amazing. Why? I just feel I'm having the best time of my life right now, and I have the most energy. I have the most energy because I've worked so smartly in order for myself to be able to be in this position. And my life and dreams and vision is coming true every single day because I'm working at it every single day. I'm allowing myself every single day to grow, and I'm not resenting, I'm forgiving every single day, and every single moment I'm allowing it to be. I'm staying sober, I'm allowing myself to stay sober. You understand? I'm allowing myself to stay sober. I'm allowing myself to be vegan for the rest of my life. I'm allowing myself to be sober for the rest of my life. I'm allowing myself to write in my journal every single day for the rest of my life. I'm allowing myself to read 24/7 for the rest of my life. I'm allowing myself to do anything that is positive always. I realize no matter what, I sleep 5.5 hours a day. I'm full of energy. I sleep 5.5 hours a day, guys. And I'm a person who's really dwelling in a better way, because I'm always learning. I'm always growing. I'm finding out better ways every single day. I'm marketing more. I'm getting money in terms of what I've made of my life so that I can inspire people for free. I mean, I'm giving money and giving $30 a day to inspire people for free. I mean, I gain nothing in return. I mean, when you get to that position, you find out what richness is. You understand? You find out when you're giving money to make people happier so that they can go and live their life in a better way so that you can do it for something higher. I promise you that you'll find a better way. I promise you, you'll find a better freedom road for yourself. You'll grow, you'll find out something more, and that's the journey. I mean, the journey is go inspire. I mean, go inspire somebody to live a better life and give money for it. I mean, go to a kid and give them something inspirational. I mean, go and give them wisdom. I mean, go and give them something to learn from. I mean, go and teach something, because money will never teach a homeless person on the street how to live life. You understand? I promise you, although, that words will. I will say though that, guys, that if you enjoyed this video, I need you to share it around. I need you to be a person who's really a leadership person who does grow and learn and share this video. And also make sure that you follow me on Instagram. And no matter what, just emulate someone better than you. I mean, always have someone to go to where you can learn, because no matter what, you always need mentors and you need a team. I mean, you need a community of people around your life, and they can be in YouTube. I mean, you can just hang around them. I mean, you can go online and you have books 24/7. You go and tune in and you stay around those people who are much more positive than the people around you. I promise you, no matter what, you guys will be more successful, and allow yourself to do so. No matter what, I'll see you guys in the next video, and I hope you enjoy your day.